Alright, so I'm pretty much just showing you my process right now for this particular shoot I'm doing. You can kind of see in there, there's some sand in there. Some really nice sand that I sprayed with some neon paint. There are these pink rocks that I also sprayed with neon paint. And then I have here some aluminum that's on this cover. There's a black light right here. This is creating this really nice glow to it that I'll play around with in Lightroom and see what I can do with it. I also like to see what else I can do in other apps, but I'll talk about that later. I attempted to use this flash here and we overpowered the glow light. I was going to do something like these fluorescent colors here to create some sort of some more detail in there, but we're going to have to work in the slow shutter speed here. Currently I was doing some experiments and I'm basically at 2.5 seconds, 6.3, my ISO 64. I'm using these really interesting plants right here that I like. I'll show you. So there's glitter on them, and they also have this like black light paint or liquid on them, which is really cool. But that's also something I couldn't get with that flash, which I used to flash a lot, which is really weird. My last body of work was all fast, so it's kind of weird that I'm slowing things down, but I think it'll be really interesting. I'm going to use this light here to see if I can create some kind of light, more lighting detail. I was interested in the photography, but I'm going to use them in a different shoot. I'm not sure how it's not working well here. I think it'd be better more in like a faster situation. Here it is. This blue invisible ink, which is really cool. Alright. I'm back now. The camera's set up. As you can tell, it's not a very comfortable position, but we're here. And also found this bulb. I have this bulb here, and I added it to the flash, but it's not a flash. So it's just adding on to this light, which is literally not doing anything, but it's there. So, where are we at? We are at a. Can you see in there? Oh my goodness. Let me see. All right. Show you what we're doing here. Okay. If you can see there, we are doing 2.5. Oh fuck. 2.5 seconds, and I believe the f-stop is 7.1, ISO 64. So it's a 2.5 second shutter. So hopefully there's not too much more. Let's see, I'm about to put these plants in here. You can see that they have really interesting. Look at how beautiful that is. That's amazing right there. God, I want to eat it. Alright. So hopefully it floats. Oh my god, it's floating. It's fucking floating. Alright, cool. That was a goal. Alright, so we got another one here. Let me see. I'm gonna take this shit off. Hopefully I don't fuck it up. Alright, cool. Put the next one in here. Check that out. Look at how pretty that is. That is some pretty shit. Just wow. Alright, so let's do another one. Let's see how it looks in the frame here. Wow. Okay, so some tunes on here. I'm gonna do probably one more. Let me see. You're gonna copyright me. Anyways. I wanna listen to the music. Alright. So, there's another one. Oh my god, it's floating. That was the goal. Okay. Flotation. Flotation World Tour. Alright. That's a kind of formation flotation. That's really pretty. Alright. So I'm just trying to get in the frame. Let's see if check on this view. I am not changing the settings, but as you can see, we'll see in post. Look at that. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it and yeah. So this is the process of the photo shoot here. I am spray painting things, neon colors, to see how they react to different lights, fast lights, and I am experimenting with black lights. With slower shutter speeds, which is kind of different from what I was doing a couple weeks ago, where I was just working with fast lighting. So I'm trying to get these reactive, interesting colors, and I'm also pretty much just using what I have here. I've got some flowers here that I'm going to use. So, also have this fog machine. So I'm going to create like this mystical scene where this reactive flower is sitting. I guess something is happening. Some fogs and some, probably going to use two fast lights, speed lights. I have one strobe and one on camera flash. I'll probably just put on a stand or something. I'll probably just experiment with different gels and stuff and see what happens. So it's gonna be interesting stuff. Alright, so process here. We got some plants that I basically like spray painted, some neon colors here. I have this paint thing, this invisible ink right here. This blue ink optics you can find online that I basically just like painted over some of the leaves here and then here. They kind of react to this black light here. Also did the same with this cactus over here, just put a little bit on top of that so it glows a little bit. The rocks, more black rocks that I also spray painted. Then I put some sand in here, kind of made it like this desert area or something, dimension, whatever. Because of the black lights, I'm not using speed lights, because that would overpower the glow that's going on here, and the other lights. So I'm at a slow shutter speed. I'm pretty much experimenting with the really low ISO, and somewhere in between with my f-stop, around 16 or so. I don't want to go all the way high because then I'll have like a 30-second exposure and that's really long. I was hoping that these rays would, you know, create some kind of texture, detail in the air, I guess. not happening, especially with the smoke machine. I was hoping it would happen, especially with a slow shutter speed, but it doesn't seem to be working out that way. They just seem to be, they just look like that, just like lights. They aren't creating any kind of patterns that I was hoping to create with light and movement. So I'm going to continue to experiment and then hopefully find the right photo for the scene. There's several possibilities in here. But after I find the photo, then this will be taken down and then I'll post it on my next scene. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I have two lasers, this one and this laser here. And then right now my camera is positioned right here. So yeah. Alrighty, hello. So this is my second scene for I'm doing for my finals for portfolio and photo. The one I did a few days ago was the Crystal Garden. I'm sorry, not the Crystal Garden. This is based off the Crystal Garden. The Neon Garden is what I did. I'm not using any neon here, but I'm using what I have, especially during this time of COVID-19. Just kind of using what I got. So I was able to get these mirrors from Home Depot and continue a series of dimensional gardens that I was doing. So pretty much went in and gathered some plants here, put them in, put some pebbles and sand on there, filled this up with some sand and glitter. You can see there, and put little plants in them, and put flowers on the chains. I thought that was interesting too. So there is paint on the mirrors here on the surface. I tried making this purple color over here with red and blue, but that didn't turn out so well. But as you can see, then pretty much using two speed lights. The blue speed light down here to kind of create a sort of a highlight. And then I have a strobe with a diffuser and a yellow gel up here. So I'm working with these two fast speed lights here. This light's really just for my focusing. Let's see what I have here. So, my husband came in and took a few, so these are the ones that he took, which I like a lot. So you can kind of see there's a lot of stuff going on with the chains and the flowers in here, which is really interesting stuff. I'm going for a certain look now that I have put this all together. I started last night. I believe it is like 7 o'clock in the morning or some shit. I started somewhere around, I think, 11 p.m. or 10. I'm not really sure. Cleaning this thing was a big deal, especially from the last shoot that I had in it. It just takes forever to clean the paint off of this thing, so that kind of sucks. I think the next one I kind of want to do like a jungle vibe, which that would be interesting. But let's see what else we got on this camera here. Got more nice detail shots in there. This is nice. I like that one a lot. This one's really cool. Cool. These were some that I was doing. So I'm going something for like, let me see if I can find it. Kind of like this, where we have this like, have the smoke coming in at the bottom, so you can see the paint detail more in the actual plant that's there. And then you get sort of more of this, and then. Alrighty, hello. So I just finished cleaning up the mess from the opulence garden that I made a day ago. It was really beautiful. I had a crystal thing here with some flowers and some other gardening, and it's really interesting. Just cleaned up all the paint here on these mirrors. Paints are clean. I just kind of wanted to show you exactly what's going on here with my mirrors and when they are clean. It's kind of boring, but there they are. So next, I'm thinking about just using what I have, because you know, Corona right now, COVID-19 is taking over the world. I don't have many resources. I have a bunch of plants over here. I'm kind of done making gardens. I'm kind of interested in making something a little bit more rough on the edges, but I still want it to be like a place of like meditation, or like somewhere uplifting yet extremely uncomfortable and unraveling. And so I have here what I'm using is a lot of wire. I'm thinking about making some wires, kind of like that barbed wire scene from the Saw movie. I'm gonna make like a wired dimension. And then I have all these beads that kind of made me think about connections of people and stuff, like all these beads from when I used to make little bracelets for festivals and stuff. And I think that's really interesting too when you think about meeting people from different places and exchanging items, meaningful items, and bringing those along with you into other realities and worlds. And I think that's really fascinating. Alright, hello everybody. Here goes my new scene. Ta-da! Check that out. So there's a lot of wiring going on here. We are still dealing with the Corona outside, Corona issues. Well, I'm gonna have to change my cell phone and shit, but there you go. Lots of Corona issues, and it's not good. So I'm making work inside, like I normally do. And it's nice. This is, I believe, my third scene, I want to say, that I've done with these new mirrors that I have here. These mirrors are working out great. Look at all of that. God. This is like so much. So, basically, I have a bunch of wire from different projects and some tools here, some bolts and stuff, some nuts, stuff like that, and this random thing right here. I'm just kind of thinking about just the way people are just connected. Everything in the universe might be connected. There are different points in life, space, time, points of light, points of darkness, depending on where we go, the center of the universe in some sense. So all these things I'm thinking about, which are really interesting. I was using this thing, which I'm not anymore, and then I'm using these little beads, which gives it a little bit of a color. Which is interesting, like a path of color, like a path of light, which is also really interesting in this concept. I'm also thinking about like the circle, kind of like a loop of infinity, like an infinite
like a never-ending loop in some sense. And the photograph, which is also another interesting concept of like never-ending, and it's placed in the universe where it never ends and just like forever. And that's look. So, that is my progress for right now. I'm going to continue putting some at the top here, filling in most spaces. I think it needs more filling up here, and more filling at the bottom down here. And I think we're going to start shooting. I think I'm going to start doing maybe I'm going to do strobes. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to go for one color or two. It seems that monochromatic seems to be really interesting for me, especially with the last shoot that I did. I had one flash that didn't go off, and my blue went off, and it was just so fascinating because it created so much more movement and more just like mystery to it, because just the blueness and the white and the contrast, it was so critical, and so there's just so much movement that you can see within the clarity because of it. And then when the other flash went off, you know, there was just more colors and it was more distracting, and I found it to be less moving than the monochromatic shot. So sometimes it feels like accidents are a good thing. Sometimes accidents can be a good thing, you know. I've had a lot of work where shit just happens and I'm like, wow, this is really cool and this really works, and it's not the way I intended it to be, and it was an accident, and it ends up being so much cooler than what I actually intended it to. And I guess that could be a learning process. So maybe I can learn from my mistakes, and I might actually try one flash and see how that works out for me. Maybe I can get something cool out of a monochromatic color here instead of working with two colors. So let's find out.
Courtney, have you seen this?
His box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take commentary. Any commentary?
Sure, it's crazy.
Open to commentary. So this is the box right now. I'm just gonna call it the box that rocks. This is the box that rocks. Have you seen my commercial before? Dude, you haven't seen the box that rocks. I'm gonna have to show you the box that rocks. Everybody, I'll include the box that rocks. It is a video that I did in my junior year of high school about this box that you open and takes you to a magical world. It's a little ridiculous little motion graphic. It's really funny. It's on YouTube. It's the box that rocks. That's what this is. The grown version of the box that rocks. Wow. Isn't life funny? What? Huh?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to my
What'd you get this for?
I have to make videos of this shit that I do. Huh?
I can smoke a blunt through that.
That's for my next box. Hello everyone. Do you want to comment? Come here. So I made this look. This is Matt. Say hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, Matt. He's an incredible artist here. It kind of looks like a face. Like, come here and check it out. Like, so I did these. Matt did this here. So I did all this stuff here. And I told him to come and collaborate with me. So he did this painting here. And what else? He did this right here.
It's like a bunch of geometric.
Yeah, a bunch of geometric science. And so I came here and I randomly started doing this diamond thing. I was going for a diamond. And then I came
This
over
actually
here.
looks really good dry.
It's gonna
So I
be
haven't
impossible
seen it
to
since
clean.
it was
I have to
like
clean
wet.
this tonight and start a new scene. But come over here, dude. If you come over here and get your like face in there, like you see a fucking face. It's really crazy.
Hold on, where?
Like right around, just like this, you'll see the lips and the eye, and it looks kind of crazy. It looks like a face.
Like, eye, red lip.
Yeah, you see that, and then
Yeah,
like
I
the
do see
head, and then the head there. So it was kind of trippy. I kind of
Yeah.
like that. Yes, I'm trying to photograph the fucking face, but it's really hard because my camera is a DSLR and the lens on it is too big. So I have a normal lens on there. I need a more wider lens. That's still cool though. It's not getting any paint on the floor. So my husband Corey is adding on to it, which is something really interesting. Also that I find is that this kind of goes with another body of work that I did my junior year of college, where me and him collaborated on different pieces, and we did like this mixed media thing where I would like just cut out different things and add different materials, and I was working with the actual photographic plane and trying to see if we can add more actual dimensions to it, and if we were able to pull any kind of photographic memory from these pieces itself. And it turned into this chaotic mess pretty much.
Per usual.
But when we looked at it, we felt what we created, and it was extremely immersive and just awing to see what that moment was like. I put those pieces away for a while, and they're actually in this other room over here. I'm trying to build the box for these, but this is a big thing I did my junior year. I was really interested in like getting out of the ordinary, finding the disturbances and the imperfection of life, I guess, in a way, because life is imperfect. Life is kind of random and messy in some ways. So it's really interesting to think about those things, that like nothing really is perfect. So why fix things that happen, you know, especially naturally, unless you want them in your control. But I believe having freedom to let the world play out in its way is a good thing sometimes. It's a beautiful thing, actually, because it's nature in some sense. So, yep, this is what it is. So I am basically trying to capture an image somewhere around here. Hopefully that'll work out. So I'm trying to set up my flash. I'm currently looking for my scene cord. So yeah. So I just did want to add on. There's like I guess in this certain box here, I think I mentioned all of this in my last video. Actually, I did. Never mind.